In this video, I'm going to model how you take a problem that gives you grams of some substance like H2SO4 and asks for moles of a different substance. As you are working these problems, you need to identify your givens. So for this one, there's one given, 3.1 grams of H2SO4. And what you are looking for is moles of NaOH. So what I've done is just kind of written that out. You're given 3.1 grams of H2SO4. Your 1 is some number of moles of NaOH. This is an example of where you're given substance A, and you're asking for a different substance. We're going to call it B. This is what stoichiometry is all about. And it's the problem-solving technique that is very, very important. Now, what you learned in discussion with your teacher earlier is that these numbers out in front in your balanced equation, this 2 right here, the invisible 1 right here, the 2 here, and the invisible 1 right here, you can use the unit moles for that. So we can relate what we are given and what we want in terms of moles. So what we have is 1 mole of H2SO4 for every 2 moles of NaOH. So I'm going to write that down as a relationship. And that's what I've written there. Now with these relationships, you have to remember that you can flip them. And depending on how we set up the problem, will determine which one of these we use. Before we can use either one of these relationships, we need to be in the unit moles. But if you look in the red here, we're not given moles, we're given grams. So we can't just jump into that one-step problem like we were demonstrating in class earlier. There's another step prior to. And that step prior to is going to be taking that grams and converting it to moles. And the relationship to do that is your molar mass relationship. Because we are converting within the same unit, we're just talking about H2SO4. So we want to take that 3.10 grams of H2SO4 and we want to convert it to moles. To do that, we need the molar mass. So I'm going to find out the molar mass of H2SO4 off the periodic table. So remember, hydrogen weighs 1.01 straight off that periodic table, times 2 because there's 2 of them here. S weighs 32.1. There's only 1. And oxygen weighs 16, and there's 4 of them. Once you get the mass of all of that, you then add them up, and you get that the total molar mass is 98.12 grams of H2SO4 in 1 mole of H2SO4. So that's our next relationship, which is why it's still in yellow. So this only works for H2SO4, so 1 mole of H2SO4 is that many grams. Now to actually solve this problem, I'm going to set it up in one big long step because the whole purpose of this tool, dimensional analysis, is to actually make your life easier. Now I know it doesn't seem like that right now, but I promise it is. Okay, so I'm going to switch to black here, and I'm going to set up our dimensional analysis tool. Like I've said over and over and over, is that we always start with our given. So I'm going to plug in our given right here. 3.1 grams of H2SO4. There we go. Now, nothing goes here. Cross it off. Your answer does not go there. Nothing goes there. 0, not a zip. Okay, a lot of y'all are putting your answer there. The answer doesn't go there. The answer goes on the end of it. So if I start with grams right here, we all know I have to put grams down here. So you have to look at your relationships. I have 2 choices. I have this choice, which has moles and moles, or I have this choice that has moles and gram. Gram is what I need to cancel, so that's how I know that this relationship is the one I'm going to use. 98.12 is going to go on bottom because I need that unit grams to be on bottom to cancel because that's the rule that Miss Olivas has told you over and over and over. If I put the 1 gram on bottom, I've used that part of it. Now I have to use this part. So the 1 mole of H2SO4 goes on top. This step right here should look familiar to what we've done previously. Now we're just extending this and using the tool that you learned today. I'm not in the unit I want. I want, up here in blue, I want moles of NaOH. Right now I am in moles of H2SO4. So now is where I have to use this relationship right here. And I just need to decide which one I want. So I'm going to extend my dimensional analysis out. I did not want to do the highlighter there, but okay. And I have to remember that if mole is up here, mole needs to be down here. But see, if mole H2SO4 is up here, then mole of H2SO4 needs to be on bottom. I've already used this one that I just crossed off, so I don't want to use that one again. One of these is what I need to use. I need the one that has mole of H2SO4 on bottom, which is going to be this first one right here that I'm kind of outlining in a thick box. 1 mole goes on top. The reason it's 1 mole is because that was the coefficient that came from up here. If I use the bottom half, I have to plug in that top half. So now we're going to plug in the top half, and I'm actually going to change to blue because this is where I change to the correct substance. Now what you're looking for is moles of NaOH. So once you solve for that, you're actually done setting it up. Now what you have to do is actually plug this into the calculator. So for this, I'm going to switch to a green, and just make sure that you remember how to do this. You're going to take the 3.1. You're going to multiply that by the... Okay, my video paused. I'm not sure where it paused. So we're taking the 3.1 and we're multiplying by the 1. We don't worry about the H2SO4 here. Okay, that's just a unit. So it's just these numbers out in front. 3.1 times 1 times 2. And without writing anything down, without stopping, without hitting the equal sign, we're going to divide by 98.12, and we're going to divide by 1. So every time you hit something on top, it's multiply. Anytime you're putting a number on bottom, you're dividing. This is the way to make your life really easy. And when you do this, which you need to pause the video and do it to make sure that you're getting the same answer as me, you get that the final answer is 0.063. The last unit you wrote down was mole of NaOH. So that's the unit to your answer. This is where your answer goes. Put an equal sign, your answer goes there. Not here. Nothing goes here. Okay, so this is how to model this type of problem. Now you're going to give a try with those 3 problems. Click the Google form at the bottom and check your answers. If you don't get the right answer, come see your teacher.